Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the walking. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls better tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch me, please use caution. Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the sheets. We came for one man, forget about peace. You take the west side, take on the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the. I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Not so tough, but man's keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls better tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch me, please use caution. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that.
Yes, first one to speak. Me, I won. In your face, Dominique.
Stop it, man. The insecurity is oozing, man. Stop it. I apologize. I didn't realize that I was going to be this goddamn handsome this morning. Some mornings I wake up and I look like a normal guy, but I walked in here and I felt the insecurity just.
Is that your good chain? Is that it's sort of refracting light?
Nah. I don't have a good chain. This chain was $130, but it looks like $1 million on me. Because I got great pecs and abs.
Frankie does, for the record, here have a gun at the security desk. So you're good. You don't need to lie to us about how much your chain's worth.
It's not that expensive.
It's important to note Frankie's the security guard, not just someone walking around with a gun.
I can't be sure that there's not another
It
guy
is Florida.
named Frankie with a
Anything
gun, but
can
we have a Frankie with a gun. Samson's also here.
What is the material of your shirt? I didn't get a chance to say hi to you in that way this morning.
Oh, no. It's a sex appeal.
I'm not familiar with what material. Is it like velour?
No, that's the material.
Is that an actual material called sex appeal?
Yeah.
Is that your cologne or your material?
No, it's the material. It's a fabric that I created.
David's wearing a polo.
David looks like a retired umpire.
It's nothing personal, polo.
No, I think it's the shorts more than the polo. Like the shorts and the belt combo. You look like you would like to say, "You're out of here."
Are we not going to mention the thongs?
Oh, sexy. He came sexy today.
We're in Florida in the middle of summer helping out Le Batard.
Toes out.
You can expect I'm not wearing either pants or closed-toe shoes.
No, the issue is I have on shorts too. I wasn't knocking you for wearing shorts. It's the 90s ass shorts that you got on. Like they stopped making those shorts in the 90s.
Wait, what kind of shorts?
They're brand new.
As Chris,
They're actually
Cody
brand new, and you all know them. I believe they first got made fun of. Not by you. They've been made fun of.
You
before.
may recall these shorts from the last time David Sampson was harassed for these shorts.
You gotta raise them things up to the rafters, man.
No, they're my special. Will never get pickpocketed shorts.
Have you not heard about these shorts?
Oh, there's like a spot for everything, and you don't. It makes you feel safe. Like no one's gonna pickpocket you.
His shorts
can't. It's all backwards. All the zippers are backwards.
His shorts have a panic room.
That's exactly right.
Have you ever been pickpocketed?
No, that's the whole. Of course.
But do you go to places that would pickpocket you?
Any place.
Any
place in Europe.
Really?
Have you ever been to Europe?
I agree that we're not there now.
Ever been to New Orleans? Ever been to the Elster lobby?
Pickpocketing happens. But it's never happened to me, so I don't feel like I need special pants to protect me from it.
Have you guys been pickpocketed? Billy?
No.
Lucy? Jess? Jess is vigorously nodding her head.
I got my phone stolen out of my purse at a nightclub in Scottsdale on New Year's Eve once before the Fiesta Bowl.
If you had my shorts on, you'd still have your phone.
I had a purse. It was zipped up in my purse.
You said you were in a club. If you had those shorts on, they would not let you in.
Hold on a second.
Also true.
This was New Year's Eve?
Yes.
Was there any consumption that day?
No, of course not.
Because I wonder what percentage of pickpockets is people just lost their stuff and they don't remember where they put it.
Are you victim blaming?
I'm
Jess?
not. I'm not doing that. I would not do that.
This is how I know I didn't just drop it somewhere. My friend also had her phone stolen out of her purse, and then we went to the security people at the club, and we were like, "Hey, did anyone turn in missing phones?" And they were like, "You're like the 30th person to say that you lost your phone." And I was like, "Maybe you guys should do something about that."
It's a heist then.
So there was someone just that went into the club that night and just took a bunch of people's phones.
So, you tried to assert your dominance of the show.
I did successfully.
But you didn't.
This is what dominance looks like.
Listen. Only person you acknowledged.
No, it doesn't.
It's not. The only person you acknowledged was me. You didn't even tell anyone David Sampson was here.
I did. I said also Sampson's here.
You
That
didn't.
came a couple minutes in.
You didn't paint the picture for everyone in the shipping container. Like, it's okay.
Let's
relax.
all right.
Take a deep
Hold
breath.
on. Let's.
I think I make you nervous. We worked together so long, so well together, and you normally, like, you got to a point where you were comfortable around me. You didn't feel intimidated or insecure, but you're flashing back, and I don't like it.
I found Dan's glasses.
There you go. Let's shift it to Dan's glasses.
Dan's telling
You want to see
Valerie-
dominance?
Do not
Let's
put
see
them
it.
on.
Dan's in Africa telling Valerie someone pickpocketed his glasses.
I'm gonna posit a theory.
Okay.
I just found out something. I think these glasses are purely cosmetic.
Really?
I don't think there's any like action.
I see them immediately.
It's basically.
Are they reading glasses? I assume they're reading.
They've got food on them. I think they're just
Wow.
goggles to protect him when he's eating.
David.
David's trying not to confirm what you said.
They're blue light.
Ooh.
It can't be that he's doing it only for cosmetics.
What's wrong?
can't
Hold
be.
on.
Why not?
Wait,
What's
do you
wrong
have a
with
pair of his glasses?
Why do I? Yeah,
his
that's
own
the same
glass.
thing. I'm with you, Luz. I mean, Jess, why are we against
Oh,
looking
now
all
you
good?
look
gotta move
same.
into the damn
All
chair.
look same.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Now I'm insecure.
I'm gonna glass shame.
Those are fake glasses?
Those are fake glasses.
They're definitely blue light,
I don't know.
which blue light glasses are good for you.
Do you think that Dan looks better in them? Then they aren't fake. If they help him look any bit better, then they're real glasses.
But why does he use them when he's
no.
pretending to read something?
It's not what glasses are for.
Is he reading it on his phone?
That's not what they're for you.
Haven't you
Performative
seen him
reading.
during a show where
I try not to pay attention during the show.
I got to be honest
I
with
got an
you.
email about that.
I don't like when people wear fake glasses because I feel like as someone who's ocularly handicapped, you're making fun of me.
Yeah, your culture is not our costume.
I mean, it is. If I put them on and I look great in
It's a
them.
pretty good look for you, Dominique.
They don't look good. They're off. They're slanted. Dan's head is bigger than yours, and so and I don't mean that in any other way other than actual size.
What other? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
what?
Thank you. What do you mean? There's the whole other side.
Charlie Kravitz is here too.
My dog.
Hey guys.
What's your take on the glasses situation, Charlie?
I don't know if I have a take on the glasses situation. Although I will say 0% surprising that Dan wears fake glasses.
That's a take.
So Dan was produced by Charlie on Highly Questionable for years. Kravitz has seen a lot of things. He's seen the inside of many rooms that few others have gained access to.
I saw the beginning of the fake glasses when he claimed he couldn't read the teleprompter on Highly Questionable. And he started doing the fake glasses to read bumps before the show. Yeah.
What? Is this like a placebo thing? Like he said he couldn't see the prompter and they gave him fake glasses and
I
he's
don't
like,
know.
this is
One day he
fixed.
just came with glasses.
This can't be real. They're not fake
All
glasses.
right, this is an investigation now.
This could be a
Find out,
PTFO.
Pablo.
This is an episode of my show. We're gonna put a pin in this. By the way, when I sat down here, I know Dominique also clocked what had happened, but David goes to me and says, "I just got an email from Dan," and I said, "David, is this something that we should talk about?" And David looked sort of whiter with fear.
Thank you. I'm actually not that white right now. It's summer. There is a thing with Dan when he's not here, and I think that you're all very aware of it. I don't know that he contacts you all,
Pinkish.
but he is paying
shrimp
attention to
salad
the
pink.
show. He's supposed to be away now.
Seashell.
Are we still talking about? Oh, you're talking about the color of your shirt or my skin?
Both.
David, do you wear sunscreen every day? This is a huge debate before the show.
When I'm sitting outside in the sun.
So not for just everyday chores.
Correct.
Okay.
Does anybody?
Everybody else
Yeah,
does. but no one
Billy
wants to
Billy
talk about
feels
it, I
like
guess.
he's on an island because in the pre-show we mostly talked about who's wearing sunscreen, and everybody behind that side of the glass, except for Billy, is protected.
Well, no, because this is what happened is I said that I go to the dermatologist. We were talking about like lies and people that you lied to, whether you're going out, and then, if we get to it, we get to it. But people that lie to their doctor.
Have you ever smoked?
Yeah, stuff like that. Like you lie to your doctor about your own health situations out of pride, right? So then I was saying, like at the dentist, if they say, like, do you floss, the lie that I've perfected is not as often as I should, right? That's what I say for everything because it's not a lie.
Probably not a lie.
It's not a lie, right? That's just, it covers it. And then my soul doesn't feel like I'm lying to someone. I'm just saying not as often as I should. So I say that to my dermatologist when they're like, do you wear sunscreen every day? And I'm like, not as often as I should. Right. So
well,
then
that's more of a yes or no question.
It is. But I get away when I say it. I get away with it. Right. So everyone else, I guess, puts on sunscreen every day in the back row. I do not because it's not as often as I should. But they tell me that I should. And then we got into like a whole debate about if sunscreen real, does it cause cancer, is it a hoax, all of that, as one does when you talk about sunscreen.
I mean, I don't put sunscreen on every day, but I kind of wear it every day. Melanin's kind of a bit of a protection against the sun.
God's sunscreen.
Yeah, it is. I know they say that everyone should wear sunscreen, and I put sunscreen on my kids, but I'm blacker than them. You can't laugh at that.
So Dan emailed you?
I love that Billy steered us away from the Dan email conversation only for me to make it uncomfortable enough for Billy to steer us
That's how
back.
bad it was that he wanted to get back to a subject which we don't want to get into.
Wait, you're saying that I cannot laugh at Dominique's kid's blackness or lack thereof? Is that not a thing I can do?
Nope.
I don't think you can even ask the question.
I regret asking it.
I like this.
We're
what
live.
did the email say? I'm curious. How is this going?
He just gets worried when he's not here, and that worry manifests itself in certain words of instruction and thought that masquerade as inspiration, but in fact are more of, hey, is it gonna fall apart when I'm not there?
Dan gives a bad pregame speech. That's what
It
sounds
was.
like.
It was not.
I think he's
would be a
undermining
top
us.
five.
Can I just cut to the chase here? I think he's trying to undermine us. He's trying to shake our confidence. He's trying to prove that no one can host this show but him.
Nah,
Did he reach out to either of you?
he knows better.
Nope.
So no email, no text, no nothing.
I think like 2 weeks ago he was like, "Hey, good luck down there, have fun."
And you didn't respond, or just thank you?
Nah, I was like, thumbs up.
Dominique's also one of the worst texters in human history.
Did you do the actual thumbs up emoji or you just click the words and then you hit the thumbs up?
I reacted to his message with the thumbs up. I didn't actually go through the process of finding a thumbs up emoji because I do believe that it's too much effort.
So you got this email right before the show today?
In the middle of the night last night
Oh.
when I was in the El Sur getting ready for shows. I have a little bit of stress about the thumbs up emoji.
Why?
Because of the different colors of the thumb.
I thought so.
Can't ask about this, David. We just established it.
Oh, no. We can talk about emoji colors. You got to go with the one that represents you, right? Not the person who you're speaking to. Like, that's condescending.
I go with generic because I don't want people to
So,
think that I'm assuming.
what color is
how-
generic?
What color is
What
generic?
shade am I?
What color is generic,
The one,
Billy?
the preset one. I just go with the
Which
preset.
one is that?
That's
Wait,
what
which
I
color
do,
is that?
but
Wait,
it
wait,
turns
which,
out that's too white.
wait, why are we guys calling it generic? What color are we talking
Simpsons.
Yes.
That's not a. It's not.
That is the
I
original.
feel like you guys are
thumbs up.
avoiding saying the color.
Did you guys know
for
that Marge
reasons.
is black? She is.
True. It's true.
It's true. Marge is black.
What is your evidence?
Look at all the Simpsons characters in their hair. You can tell that Lisa and Bart have hair that is a bit curlier than anyone else's hair and any of the white people in The Simpsons.
Bart's
Marge's
hair
hair
spiky.
No, it's spiky. Look at all the other characters in The Simpsons. Do any of them have spiky hair? No.
I thought it was like
Lisa's
a
hair is
beehive.
spiky. No, now we're talking about Marge. Marge's hair is curly and stands up. White people's hair doesn't do that. Marge is black.
Bart is biracial.
Told you. You're welcome.
That feels right.
It's true.
Why wouldn't they have just made her black?
Because you guys can't handle that. I mean, it's the truth. Like, nobody can. You want me to make her shrimp salad pink?
I don't do the thumbs up ever.
Why not?
Because I'm self-conscious about.
So you don't use any of the hand gestures? So you don't, like, send anybody a middle finger, a fist,
No.
nothing?
I'll do
rock and
GFY
roll?
instead of a middle finger.
I'll change what color emoji I'm using based on what season it is. Because I'm more tan during the summer.
Always go with the darkest thumb.
I Googled is Marge Simpson black, and I'm getting a number of responses here. One says she has French ancestry. The other says she is white passing Creole.
Yeah, it's black.
Creole's
I don't know
black.
what that means.
Well, in order to pass means that you aren't white. So she is white passing Creole. I mean, she's black. And it's the French connection being Creole also. She's black.
I'd never heard this, which is obviously such a white thing, but I've never heard it.
Oh no, it's I think it's a theory more than it is a factual.
No,
thing,
this is
but,
definitely a thing that David Sampson should be aware of and tell other people about after the show.
This is going to come up because we have Azaria. I mean, in
yeah,
theory,
sure.
we could ask him.
I don't think Hank
Marge-
Azaria wants to delve into any more racial topics with the Simpsons.
Marge is black as Babe Ruth. I promise you.
I think you're going to say Hartenstein.
Whoa.
I'm seeing an article here accusing Marge Simpson of appropriating black culture.
Whoa.
That would make her not black.
Marge Dolezal.
Dan was right.
I love Jess.
So what was the
Do you mean
nature of
Lucy?
this email?
Oh man, Jess is doing the show just for me, guys, and it's pretty hilarious. Not
That's-
Lucy.
Dan would love the show that I'm doing in Dominique's here, by the way. I think Dan sends the email to be like, I'm watching, just so you know. I might not actually be watching, but I'm watching.
So I take it as though he's
Stay on
not
your
watching
toes.
because I'm aware of the time difference where he currently is, and I would put it at close to 0 that he's watching.
I just said he's not actually watching.
Right, I agree
but
with
he's
you.
watching.
But what does that mean? That means
You know
he's
what it means.
But is he getting scattering reports from? Is he going to reach out to people and say, "How did that go?" Or is he going to look at views or look at numbers? I want to know how it's going to manifest.
He's going to
itself.
ask Ryan Cortez, how are the shows? And Cortez is going to say, David Sampson couldn't stop talking about this stupid email.
And Pablo accused me of having fake glasses.
I think that it said something about who he sends the email to. So
'Cause
he
he's
had
worried that I'll derail it.
he had a pregame speech with the one player that he's concerned about. I think that we got to be honest
Maybe it's
about
the
this.
one person who's up in the middle of the night who will respond to him. Is it possible that that's it?
Yeah, whatever spin you want, Samson.
I don't
Whatever
need
you
spin.
want.
I'm just laughing. I love hearing from him, but I can't say it was motivating.
Which one of those pockets do you put
In
your
any
confidence
way.
in? You might want to reach in and grab it.
That's front center.
Oh, good one.
Can't even. Do you know why the zipper goes the other way?
So people can't unzip it and
You
steal it.
cannot
Because
be-
zippers are a spectrum.
Because you cannot pickpocket a zipper that goes the other way.
So if someone is so skilled that they can unzip my pocket and take my things out of the pocket, they earned it. They deserve it. Don't you have
You're
any
just willing to-
appreciation
No.
for their craft?
I do not. I have no appreciation for people who use their intelligence to break laws.
See, this is now we
Yeah, well, hang on.
This is I don't know. We got enough time to get into this one. So there's a conversation to be had there about opportunity, and there's a conversation to be had with like what is legal and what's not legal, and whether people who have power break laws, whether they get convicted of them or not. So like, there's a whole different place where Dan probably doesn't want us to go, but.
I'll go everywhere, but I'm referring like people How to Rob a Bank is a documentary. If anyone watched it recently, it's quite good on Netflix maybe. And there's a brilliant Harvard-educated guy.
Why are you pointing at me for?
You
Because
rob banks.
you're a Harvard-educated guy who, if you spend all of your intelligence robbing banks, I find that to be a waste.
Dan accuses me of basically doing that at this company, but I digress.
In terms of people.
So I would say a couple things, David. I think people could argue that there are lots of people who you probably respect and revere that have broken lots of laws. Like, I mean, you could say the foundation of this country was built on breaking laws. It's just really rare it's really odd to put a hard and fast line and saying, I don't respect anyone who breaks laws. There are laws
I
that
don't
are...
mean speeding.
Hold on. So, I mean... The entire civil rights movement was based on the idea of breaking laws that were unjust. So I think that pointing out that I don't respect anybody who breaks laws just seems like a little odd because like I imagine that there are a confluence of events that have put people in a situation where they feel like they need to pick people's pockets. So like I don't think that they woke up and had every opportunity in the world. I was like, you know what? I aspire to be a fucking pocket picker.
Oh wait, Dan did send me an email. He said,
No
make
F words?
sure. No, he said, hold on, let me read it. Pablo, comma, space. Make sure that David doesn't condemn the civil rights movement.
Oh, you failed that one.
Shoot.
I thought we were going to make it out of the first.
Almost anything, and he had that ready.
No, I did have it ready. It's just a fact of life. No, I think that I'm always.
I was referring to the civil rights movement. You're an idiot, Pablo. I was talking about.
By the way, the number of people who have gotten in my ear basically being like David Sampson, man who was investigated for moving a stadium.
Yeah.
Is telling people that using intelligence to break laws is the one line you can't cross.
I think this because I find, and I thought
Never been convicted. So I have no idea.
Why are you looking at me? All right? Anyone could have said that to Pablo.
Stop looking at Lucy.
There's no way Lucy said that to Pablo.
I knew at some point.
Why?
Because you're way too nice.
You don't know me that well.
Nice.
But I also didn't say it. I was thinking
Thank
about
you.
the time I got pickpocketed and they stole my wallet and then spent a shit ton of money at Buffalo Wild Wings. And then I was like, hey, bank, this wasn't me. And they were like, that was you. You definitely spent that money at Buffalo Wild Wings. I was like, no, it wasn't. But based off all of my previous purchases, they were like, yeah, that was you. So I didn't get the money back. What? But I'm glad that they enjoyed a night at Buffalo Wild Wings on my dime.
Wait, can we take up this cause? Can we vindicate Lucy Rodin for, not actually using that money at Buffalo Wild Wings? That feels like an injustice.
No, I think she did it.
No, I really didn't do it because, one, I was hammered. There's no way I could have gotten to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Your Honor.
And so, I didn't realize my wallet was stolen till the next afternoon.
I'm siding with the bank.
And no, I think I'm okay. Buffalo Wild Wings isn't open that late, but they
Is this
had,
how the call went with the people investigating
I
you?
was,
Not a great
little
case.
bit,
I'm
but
pro
I
bank.
was about to throw up, and I was like, I did not spend that money at Buffalo Wild Wings. So, but it's okay. I'm glad they had a good night. They tried to go to Target later. That didn't work, which that feels weird. I feel like they would have known that. Target also feels like something they would have been like, you did. But Buffalo Wild Wings, they were like 100% Lucy. We know you spent the money there.
That feels like an impulse robber. You should go to Target first, I feel like. Get what you maybe want to keep that won't just be pooped out in a day. But they went with the Wild Wings.
If you stole someone's credit card, do you just make a series of small purchases or do you just go big immediately?
The majority use it for things like that. So I got into this with a bank, and it's so funny you're mentioning this. I don't understand how they know when you're at a gas station you've never been at, my credit card would get flagged, for example. And I would say, well, yeah, because I haven't driven to this part of the country, but I'm here now. Don't make me call you every time. But the bank has these algorithms now where they'll say, oh, Lucy doesn't go to that Buffalo Wild Wings, so that we're not giving you credit, or she could have gone to that one, and they pretend that they know what you're doing, and I hate it. It's too Orwellian for me.
You want to be able to spend money wherever you want without
Yeah.
I don't want the credit card company telling me.
surveillance.
Right.
I don't know how this works, but I've never had this happen before. I've never had. It's happened to my wife. It's happened to people where they reject your card even though you're trying to use it. It's never happened to me, and maybe it's because I travel enough or I create a situation where never know where he's going to be. But I've never had that happen to me, and I've lost my credit card in Miami. 5 years ago, I lost my credit card, and they went to the liquor store and spent $130, and I had to make a police report, and they put me on hold for 30 minutes, and I was like, all right, that's your $130. You guys got it. Bought you some drinks. Had a good night. I'm not about to talk to you.
You did the math.
Yeah.
It's what your time is worth. Lucy spent how much time trying to get Buffalo Wild Wings money back?
Probably 30 minutes. There was a point where I was like, I'm going to get sick. So it's really just not working.
Can you hold, please?
I was like, you know what?
Can you hold, please? I'm at a Buffalo Wild Wings right
I'm gonna
now.
throw up right now. And so I just said, you know what? If that's what you spent your money on, that's fine. Because when they tried to spend $600 at Target, my card was like, hey, I don't think so. But Buffalo Wild Wings, they were like, that's Lucy. That's Lucy for sure. Yeah. So I just let them have their fun little night. I forgive them. I've moved on. But I am a little hurt by my bank being like, yeah, you ate there. That's what you were doing.
I'm proud of myself that I held off for 10 minutes before fighting with David Sampson about the hierarchy of society. I made it longer than I thought I would.
Congrats.
Oh, we're coming back, baby.
So the yellow emoji. should we discuss the sports that we considered talking about today? David sent some topics in. Nobody responded to those topics. Billy sent a text asking for topics. Dominique.
Oh, no, Charlie and I have a whole other side thing with a bunch of real topics.
Charlie made a doc, a secret side doc full of sports topics.
I feel like we all need to get on the same page because that's not super helpful.
Okay.
Because like if Pablo doesn't know and David doesn't know, then it's not. They don't know what you want to talk about, and then they can't prepare to respond to what you want to talk about.
Now, Charlie did include us on the doc.
Okay.
I opened the doc.
Billy,
then-
you too.
Okay.
And
But not
you're
me or
on the
Lucy.
doc.
That's very
Interesting.
helpful then.
That's
yeah.
interesting.
Why did you leave them out?
So I
wonder.
think what we need to do is look at the email from Carl and send that doc to everybody who's going to be on the show that particular day. I think that would make the most sense if we could do that going forward. That'd be
David,
great.
we agree.
So we will do that. And I'm guilty because when I go on this show, I send
could just
topics
put a
only to
period
the
after I'm
EP
guilty.
and to Dan.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And you guys never participate in the segment, and now I realize I should be giving you the topics.
Yeah.
I was trying to like go have a good time, loosey goosey. We're not going to be too structured, but if we want to like be organized, we should have the hierarchy in this room properly established. Like because I'm a kind guy, I allow Pablo to sit in the middle because clearly I'm the star.
Yeah, well, before the show started, that's kind of what was going on, is figuring out who sat where. Also, I was told that the Google Doc was sent to my ESPN email, which has not been active
It's what auto-populated.
for 3 years.
It's
so
what
that kind
auto-populated.
that's why that happened.
That is perfect.
Oh, Lord.
That sums it up. I assumed that Pablo would be in Dan's chair.
All right.
But are you saying that was a discussion pre-show while I was taping Nothing Personal live?
yeah, that was
that there was a
definitely-
discussion of where people are sitting?
Yeah, Pablo came and asked me. It's like, do you mind if I sit in the middle?
That is not what happened.
Okay, you tell her how you want to tell it.
I said I should sit in Dan's chair, and David Sampson coughs all of the time, so he should sit in the other chair that has a cough button.
I knew,
And so,
Pablo,
that's
that
where
you were
Greg-
going to sit there because
Yeah.
you have to do the arm thing.
Yeah. Listen, guys, I'm from the wrong side of the tracks.
Oh, God. That's all you had?
I'm still
thought there was
workshopping
way
this
more.
character.
Also, how predictable was it that Dominique was going to be fake aggrieved by Pablo sitting in the hosting chair when he had no desire to actually sit there?
Oh, here it is. Kravitz, yes.
Zero desire. to
Yes.
sit
This is Charlie's only reason to be here because he's the only one of you guys not scared enough to challenge me.
It is amazing that you came with somebody.
Oh, why?
I mean, it's great to see
I mean, hold on,
Charlie,
hold on,
but
hold
that
on, hold on,
was
hold on. You come alone?
That is the goal.
yes,
Okay.
mostly.
Okay.
But my point is that it is interesting that you came with reinforcements, and you're still in chair 2.
Okay. See, this is the thing is you guys think that you can do the like insecurity move that I do to you guys on me, but that move doesn't work on me. Like I'm not. Yes, I came with somebody. I need help. Charlie's my guy. That ends
made a
that
doc.
conversation. Yeah.
It's a good doc. Billy, you should see it.
I'm looking at it right now.
Do we have? Hold on. Let me. Hold on. Let me assert power and dominance. Play the video of the guy barfing on himself.
Say his name, Pablo.
I don't know his name. What's his
Hold
name?
on a second. I got to give him a heads up so they get
Can't
that
do
ready.
that.
Yes.
Why are we? I did not respond. to this.
Oh, Lucy, I think that's the guy that stole your credit card at Buffalo Wild Wings.
He bought lemonade.
That's
I
lemonade?
once fired a guy for doing this. The milk challenge.
Wait.
You fired a guy
Samson
for getting
is-
sick?
What?
Yep.
What? Why?
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Do you know what this video is?
So this is the July 4th Nathan's hot dog eating contest undercard, in which they are chugging lemonade, and I believe is that Eric Badlands Booker who won?
It's a
I
gallon
hope
of
it
lemonade.
is.
Yes,
Otherwise,
Pablo, it is.
thank you. Not racist. Eric Badlands Booker, champion, hand encouragingly on the shoulder of that dude whose name is.
Airsoft Fatty.
Did he do that in 21 seconds?
Yeah, it was a world record. A gallon of lemonade.
It's
Sports.
it's insane.
And you would fire somebody for that.
So we had a player pay a ball boy to drink a gallon of milk.
Hold on.
And do you know that you cannot drink a gallon of milk without vomiting? There's a little known fact.
It's a myth.
No, it's not a myth.
Definitely a myth.
It's I watched it. It's not a myth.
Well, who's gonna try it now?
Don't. Do not. We're not doing that.
Can we get a top 5 list
Who
at
wants
some
to get
point?
fired?
At some point in the show
Of myths?
No. Of ridiculous reasons why David Sampson has fired someone. I fired someone for throwing up? That's got to be number 1.
No, it's not.
Wait, hold on.
It
Let's
probably
not-
won't even make my
let's-
top 5. But
What? Oh, I was joking.
So
but I need
OLI,
this
do we
list.
have the sound?
No, we got to give him some time. You
I
got to
don't
give him
have
some
a
time.
top 5 off the top of my head because.
But we'll start with OLI, the time that someone puked because a player made them chug a gallon of
So a
milk.
player paid a ball boy, and the ball boy did it and puked. And way too dangerous. You can die from doing it. You can go to the hospital from doing it. We weren't going to release the player, though we were upset with the player.
Who was it?
But we said to the ball boy that's it. Sorry. You're done. You cannot just do things for players like that.
Huh.
Can we guess which player did that?
You could guess, though I don't think that you will be able
Melky
to.
Cabrera.
Melky Cabrera.
Well played.
Was it Mike
Melky Cabrera was never a Marlin. or an
Antonio
Expo.
Alfonseca?
I'm going for the joke here, buddy.
Whoa, what was the joke?
Because it was
Milk.
milk. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't hear Melky.
It's
Melky.
funnier when you have to explain it. No, it was
Way funnier.
good by you.
Thank you so much.
So when did you you called him in the same day, the next day, or?
Did he change shirts?
It was
So in the video, to be very clear, as
that guy's-
the guy whose name is again
Airsoft fatty.
was vomiting on himself, facing forward to the crowd, seemingly despondent, but not so despondent that he turned around, which is just an interesting psychological space to be in.
He
and
also,
then,
if you look at the video, drank very little lemonade. There's probably 3/4 of that lemonade left in that jar.
Did anyone else think of Stand By Me when they watched that video? Or is that an age thing? Nobody? No one's ever heard of that movie? Thank you.
Lean on me.
Leon on Me is a great movie. Morgan
was-
Freeman. Why is Morgan Freeman is so amazing? He's getting older, and
We all are.
We're all doing that. And when we celebrate him, I hope he lives for another 25 years. I think he goes down as a top 5 actor of my lifetime because I've been watching him since The Electric Company.
Oh,
When I
yeah,
was
that was
young.
like a kid's show, right?
Yeah, with Sesame Street.
What's your favorite line from Lean on Me? It's only one right answer. I'll give it to you because I don't think you're going to get it.
Okay,
You smoke crack, don't you?
I would not have had
It's the best line at all.
I can't tell this is a
I
test.
lost. Oh, no, it's not a test. It's not a test.
No one had that.
Well, there's 13% of the audience appreciated that. You're welcome, guys.
So this player paid how much?
It's less than you'd think. You can get people to do a lot of things for not a lot of money. It's really quite staggering. It is. It's sort of the Divine Brown situation.
So
But-
can I ask a question? I don't. So this.
Hold on,
That's a
my
reference.
mental computer is processing 19,000 Divine Brown jokes.
This yes, and I hope they're being deleted as we speak.
As you're
Yep.
processing.
This ball boy got fired. Why? So what's the justification? Assuming that you're a lawyer and you're prepared for
Well,
any sort of
they're all at will.
right.
So I
okay,
don't.
so you don't have to.
No.
But anyway, I still think that you had to tell. What did you tell him his reason for being let go was?
Well, one of the most common reasons that you fire people is when they're not doing their job. They're instead hanging out with players, or they're watching BP, or they're doing things that they shouldn't. You're in the
watching
sales
UP?
department. They shouldn't be watching BP.
Noted.
That's not your job. Your job is to be in sales. Or if you're in in-game entertainment, what are you doing? On the field, things like that, or why are you coming down to the clubhouse and getting autographs? Why are you taking tickets and reselling them? It's things that are not your job and you get fired for. So ball boys, they have a hard job. It's really a brutal job. You're working for tips. You're cleaning up crap. You're doing favors for players all the time. And when a player asks you to do something, they're always going to do it. That would be a top 5 list, things that players have asked.
Okay.
And I think you can appreciate this.
we got two top 5 lists coming from you later in the show.
They will. Yes.
Putting it in the doc.
I think that you'll appreciate the top 5 things that have been asked by players.
I can't wait.
because you'll relate to it. I mean,
No, I mean we do. So football is different. We're not as much. We're not around the facility nearly as much. We're not traveling as much. So like we mostly do the things for ourselves and like maybe have rookies do stuff. But we don't have the same relationship. Whether you're baseball players, you're there every day. You're traveling all the time. So I would understand why the relationship with ball boys might be different. But I still haven't gotten to understand why you would fire the ball boy after you just said that they don't say no to anyone. It would seem that
we
the
need
person,
them just to have the judgment to know what to do and what not to do. It's a very there's judgment's a big part of being a. Were you ever a bat boy or ball boy?
I was not. Oh yeah, I'm assuming you're talking to me. You're looking at me. Yeah.
Well, I mean, judgment's a big part of being a human being. So like,
He's looking at the person who has the most ball boy energy behind the glass, and
I
Billy
would
was
think
like,
if
"Yeah, that's probably
anyone
me."
would be a ball boy, it would be you, Billy, as a
No.
Marlin fan growing up. You never got a chance to be a guest bat boy or ball boy?
No, is that a thing they do?
Yes.
Really?
never too late.
Yes.
It's too late. Yeah.
There-
Even though it's
he's too
not.
old.
'Cause am I? I
Yeah.
feel like it's like an old person job now,
Yeah.
right?
No.
Because after Dusty Baker's kid ran on the field
Well,
at 3 years old, then they made it like you have to be 18.
Right.
And then like at
Yes.
18, you also kind of lose the like, I want to be a ball boy. And most people do.
There was recently, and by the way, bat boy, ball boy,
I'm using them interchangeably.
just a
but
point of
they
clarification.
are different.
So there's a bat boy and ball boy who travels with them on the road. That's not an adult.
No.
Oh, it's
There's
not.
clubbies who travel on the road.
and they do the
But
bat boy.
you have to supply bat boys for the road team and the home team. And you supply clubbies. The road clubhouse has its own clubbies that are paid for by the home team.
We still haven't gotten to the bottom of why. So you fired him because he has poor judgment.
I'm trying to think if there's a better reason to fire somebody.
Was it Brad Penny?
Lack of.
Was it $500? There was an article about it.
No, there's.
Someone came in and told me. So unless there
I
was
just found the
a
article.
spy, yeah, then
Suspended bat boy mulling 2 offers, August 25th, 2005. Got milk, question mark, an unidentified Florida Marlins bat boy does. Bat boy, bat person. After the bat boy was suspended 6 games for accepting a dare from Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Brad Penny, a former Marlin, to drink a gallon of milk in less than an hour without vomiting, the milk processor education program wants to compensate him. This is a rabbit hole that I
Google is the
wasn't ready
greatest
to,
thing in the
to
history.
go into.
Why are people complaining about Google? I have not found that to
Bad.
be anything. Why is
Google's
it bad?
I think it's worse than it was. It's not bad. I think it's.
How you just found something from
yeah.
20 years ago?
Because I'm really good at using Google, but it's bad.
Yeah, I think that capitalism. So like Google has gone from a place where you go for information to a place where you go for ads.
Well,
And I
hold
think
on a
that's-
second. I have a question for you. If Brad Penny was still on the Marlins and this was a home player doing this to like a home bat person, would you have still fired said bat person?
Yeah.
And you don't think there would have been like outrage? It's easier when it's like a
Yes.
road team.
There's always outrage.
Really?
They're very protective of the guys. There's always player outrage when you do anything. When you release a player, when you trade a player, when you create any difference within their environment. There are always people who are upset. What if Dan did something different around here? You guys, I don't know. Would you? Would you care?
Did the milk cause like damage? Like did you have to replace a carpet or something?
No.
Like what damage was done other than to the person?
That's it. I don't recall seeing a bill for damaged property.
I mean, it seems like you made this is actually, the more we talk about it, actually seems like a more justifiable fire. I still don't think that it should have happened, but it seemed like you made a calculation that the value of this bat boy is not worth the risk of him eventually doing something that would hurt himself and then eventually having you guys be sued.
Well, yes. I
Right,
mean
yeah.
that is the equation that you do often. I mean, when you're firing at somebody, you're thinking that somebody who replaces them can be better and do better.
Is there no process, like a first offense, you get a suspension?
There should be, but generally, the process is what a CEO wants the process to be. When you're not in the legal system, obviously the legal system, there's due process. When you're not covered by a union and these employees are not unionized,
That's why we love unions, David. Me and you both.
I get
Love
it.
'em.
It gives you a process.
I mean, the union actually is more valuable to you than it is to me, but that's a whole nother conversation for another time. Maybe for a sporting class, we can talk about how it gives you antitrust exemption, protects the league more than it does the
I'm going to
players.
put this in the doc, too.
Will you do that, Pablo? I'd love to have
Unions better
you at a
for
sporting class.
management. Dominique loves giving notes on the sporting class.
They're angry notes mostly.
Oh, you don't like
Typically.
you don't like the show?
No, I love the show.
He just ends up
I have some
arguing with
angry
you through me.
Oh,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you just argue with me?
Because I recognize that you are a character and I will not get drawn in. I'll let myself take a minute to breathe. It's like with anyone that you care about. You're like, all right, we're not gonna have this argument right now. So it's like, all right, David is representing a caricature of a Monopoly man. David is obviously not as oblivious and heartless as he makes himself seem. So I yell at Pablo for making you seem like you don't actually care about people. You only care about money.
You could still call me.
No, it would be a waste of time.
It'd be
'Cause I call
totally
you
fine.
And I say, hey, David, that's really messed up the way that you pretended like these people don't matter. And you would be like, oh, no, just doing the show, Pablo. I really love people, right? That's what you would
I
say.
also love that anytime Dominique disagrees with someone, he just accuses them immediately of being a character.
Every single time.
I have
Every
to.
single time we do a show, he's like, that's not
You
really
can't
what you think.
possibly-
You're in character right now.
Possibly really think this.
I have to.
You're a cartoon character.
I have to.
You're a Asian Marge Simpson. No, I just like talking to David Sampson and John Skipper about business.
I do too, and I like listening to it. It's a great show. If you don't listen, you should listen.
Do you get upset that he's on the show? Is it that deep?
No. I'm upset that he doesn't provide the proper pushback. So, like, I think it's somehow
How dare you?
He's
Hold on, let
impugning
me
your
push
job
back.
as a
How
moderator.
dare you?
You, David, have taken a position so pro-corporation that it makes John Skipper seem like a socialist. And I'm like, Pablo, what the hell is going on this show where you have two people who represent the opposition to labor, and I'm in here like, yeah, get him, Skip. What are we doing?
You are now expressing the thing that David Sampson complains to me about, which
Yes.
is that John Skipper gets to be a socialist.
He does.
Because he has a southern accent and a drawl.
John Skipper gets away with stuff as chairman of this company that brings me to tears. It really does.
You feel like a suspended bad boy.
I feel like that there is nothing that any of us can do to change his character. And what he's done is he's made the character himself.
Why else did you fire people? Just out of curiosity?
please.
Not that quickly.
Yeah, we have a top
Subjects or
five.
anything.
We have a top
We're
five we're working on here on the dock.
Definitely getting the email from Dan after
Mine's
this
gonna go to my
segment.
at ESPN, so I'm good.
I
Mine will
love
go to
John.
Lucy.
No,
Don't
we are.
worry, you guys are. This is John knows. John and I talk about this all the time.
I was just
I'm
saying
not
on the
worried at
sporting
all.
class, I don't know how the company runs. It's running great. Love it. Everyone's happy. Keep up the good work. Have fun, guys.
That's really great. Thanks for that.
You got it, buddy.
I'll tell you another thing I fired someone for once.
Oh, gosh.
and
you're
this is.
waiting.
I think that you would do the same.
Okay.
I do. I think that. What would you do if you had access to an asset that you only had access to because of the job you had, and then you use that asset for your benefit? So let me be even more specific. If you had the
How'd you get
ability
that
to
job?
get tickets,
Any level of specific would be good.
okay, you have the ability to get tickets to an event, and you get the tickets at X, and then you sell them at X plus Y.
So how'd you get that job?
It depends. I mean, that factors into my opinion.
How you got the job or what the
Yeah.
job is?
How you got the job?
I have no idea.
All right,
You're
well.
working for a baseball team where you get access to tickets as a benefit.
Are you paying for the tickets?
No.
Okay, so you're getting free tickets and then and scalping them.
Yes.
Are you
did
filling up the stadium? I mean, that would be nice. Get some butts and seats, baby.
It's almost impossible that you are finding a way to disagree with
We
me.
really asked David Sampson for advice on how to fill up a stadium.
I'm just saying that maybe you shouldn't have fired somebody who was getting butts and seats. That's
How
all.
many times did this happen?
It was caught. It was caught in an investigation that we did internally.
So this was not
Let's
like
make sure there's not an ESPN.com article about this also, by the way.
so I'm asking, like, was this like a one-time, like a big event thing because you had access to the stadium and it was like a desired event, or was this like someone was claiming tickets every day and then selling them every day?
So both. But one of the rules in baseball is every team gets access to playoff tickets, even if your team is not in the playoffs. So you could get playoff tickets if it's the Dodgers playing the Yankees. Right. The Marlins get tickets to that. You get ticket strips.
So yeah, no, I mean, if that's obviously something that
fraud.
You are made aware of before you take the job. It's something that you shouldn't do. And I don't disagree with. I think I find you to be a reasonable person, and I think that a lot of us come to our opinions based on the position that we're in and experiences that we've had. And so I wouldn't say that I could never see myself behaving or I could never see myself behaving like someone or like you, frankly, in situations that you're in, if I had had the life experience that you had. But given the experience that I've had and the things that I've seen, the things that I've experienced, when I hear you say certain things, I'm like, it's kind of like offensive to what I believe in and stand for. So like, I'm not going to defend someone selling tickets or committing fraud, obviously. But when you put it the way you originally put it, you have access to assets. All of us have access to some assets, and we use them for some personal advantage all the time. Like I get a computer from work, and I use my work computer to do things all the time. So I don't. That particular example is. Like,
are you profiting from that? Or is it just things you're Amazon shopping? If you used your work computer to run a separate business, that would be a violation.
Let's not talk about it.
So the Bat Boy went on Letterman after this happened and said, quote, honestly, they never told me the reason for the suspension, he said. I guess I got in trouble for supposedly gambling, but it was a dare. The money was just an extra part of the dare.
I have no recollection of that.
He went on Letterman?
That is
a week later.
Unbelievable.
Was his name Nick Cirillo?
I can't.
He was 19 years old. He said he drank the milk in 59 minutes, but then vomited outside the clubhouse. So he did not collect the money.
Wait, 59 minutes?
You cannot drink a gallon of milk in an hour without vomiting. I'm not talking about the lemonade thing.
I was picturing him chugging it all.
That is, I mean, it's
59.
It's like a sad lunch.
Do you know how much No, we're talking about a gallon, not the quart.
No, we
the
know
big.
what a
What if it's a gallon of milk but in ice cream form? You guys think you could do that?
How much ice cream is a gallon of milk? It's more than a
great
gallon of
question.
ice cream. So I believe if you did the math, let's say it's 4 gallons of ice cream, you probably could not do that.
It sounds like you think you could eat a gallon of ice cream, though.
I've never done it, but there are people who do.
The Marlins.
I don't think it makes you sick, actually.
The Marlins in this story, quote, have declined to comment. Cirillo, a bat boy the past 5 years, said he hopes to return for the next homestand beginning September 16th. Quote, I really miss working there, Cirillo said. I hope I can get back there soon. End quote.
Let me ask you something. If you fire someone and then they go on David Letterman, are you going to hire them back? Because it seems like Nick Cirillo made the wrong decision there.
I mean, you're on Letterman.
This was great for him. Where's Chris Cody when you need him? I mean, sounds like you wouldn't have gotten on Letterman if he didn't do the dare.
I mean, for sure. And he got 15 minutes.
If this were the TikTok era, he would have 1 million followers right now. He'd
Oh
have
my
a TikTok
God.
shop. He'd be selling milk merch.
He
Like, it'd be a
Hawk-Tua'd
whole
that
thing.
milk.
I am
I hate
so
that
over
I
Hawk-Tu'a.
reference that. I know. Can we talk about that for a second? How bad that reference was, and also how much I dislike that Hawk-Tu'a is being advised by Shaq about celebrity now. That was in the doc.
She was down here at Dare Beach Club judging a bikini contest yesterday.
She's at 13 minutes and counting.
She has started to finally post on social media, and she's releasing these documentary style when they intro new contestants to The Bachelor, that is what she's doing. She's like, this is where I grew up. Also, this is not what I want to do. I do not want to be Hawk-Tu'a forever. Yeah. And we were like, girl, I'm sorry, that ship has sailed. This is way too late for that.
I mean, she could parlay it.
What's she pivoting to?
I mean, Theo Vaughn was on Real World, and Cardi B did. I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's likely, but people do parlay these momentary
Dancing with the Stars
opportunities of celebrity. If you have an actual talent, now
Honey
people
Boo
are looking
Boo
at you.
before she became a senator.
Do we know her name?
No.
There we go.
I mean, also,
I don't know it.
I don't think that matters. I think what matters is, does she have an actual talent? So, once you get the eyes on her,
are you going to find out?
The talent that she actually has, I guess, never mind. That would be a whole different line of work that I think she said she doesn't want to get involved in.
You're talking about the Hawk-Tu'a talent.
What?
I'm talking about the marketing. I'm talking about the fact that she's taking advantage and
So are we.
monetizing this.
She hasn't though. She came out and was like, if you see any merch that's not by me, if you see any social media, I don't have social media. And it's like, girl, this is running out. You don't have time, and you've waited too long. That I don't think she's going to be able to capitalize the way she thinks she is.
She waited 12 minutes into her 15 to get started.
I just appreciate that you lapse into the accent every time you do her voice, and it's pretty impressive, and you pull right out. It's nicely done.
Well, I'm Southern.
Yeah.
I slip into my accent randomly. Every time I talk to my sister, I sound so redneck after.
I find it fascinating how TikTok has provided all these people with 15 minutes, and everyone thinks they're all rich. and they're not. Like the girl on the couch,
What?
What?
I don't know that one.
the one who
That's
says she
your.
wants.
I think it's your algorithm,
No,
David.
she wants a guy in finance who's 6'5". No one's heard of that.
6'5", finance,
Yeah, I know that
blue
one.
eyes.
She's not rich.
That moment passed too.
She's trying to take advantage.
Need a talent though.
Ah, do
Gotta
it.
sing.
It's time for some early show diamonds unearthed just for you. What you're about to hear is the infamous MC Hammer interview. This is Watching Sound from the vaults of the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz.
Stugotz, he has swaggered onto the phone line sideways, wearing the parachute, the shiny parachute pants. You can check him out at mchammer.com. Stugotz, this guy was at the top of the music game. For how long, Hammer? How long were you? You were it. You were it in music. Were you not for a little while there? For how long?
Well, since I'm a sports guy, I never frame things in that perspective. I frame it more from a sports perspective. So, in home runs, I hit 50 million home runs. So, and, however that puts you in. I hit 50 million home runs and batted 300 for 8 years.
You don't strike me as someone who does very much in the way of regret from what I've read about you. Do you look back on anything and wish you had never done it?
Let's see. I got 3 Grammys, 8 music awards, People Choice Awards, 30 gold records in 30 different countries, 50 million sales, 8 million world tours. Nah, not too many regrets.
So not even the Hammer Pants, because your memories of that time are just good memories, right? The Hammer Pants. Do you still ever wear the Hammer Pants?
Versace has new Hammer Pants today. Gucci has the new Hammer Pants. Donna Karan has Hammer Pants. The runways right now, if you look at the new issue of, it's either Vanity Fair, it's full of the new Hammer Pants for 2009. So to have the finest designers in the world 20 years later saying, we're all making your pants today, I don't think I regret the pants.
MC Hammer with us on 790. I don't know whether this is a delicate subject or not. I remember years and years and years ago at the height of the music game that you were at the Calder racetrack here in South Florida, very near the radio station where we are now, and you were just handing out $100 bills. That doesn't seem like a very prudent way to use your money.
But that doesn't sound like something I was actually doing either. It sounds like something you might have read off Wikipedia or something.
No, I was there. No, I saw it myself. Like you were handing out money.
So far we have a conversation. You haven't talked about anything relevant to today. You keep asking me stuff about 20 years ago. So what year was that?
I don't know. I guess that would have been right when You Can't Touch This came out.
Okay, so 20 years ago, 1990. So, 20 years ago, you might have seen me have it. It's pretty ludicrous, but you might have seen me hand $100. One of the, guy might have been sending the guy popcorn for the, go get some beers for the guys. I don't know. What do you want me to say to that?
You've been public about your bankruptcy, right? No?
Yes. Yes. I guess if that's what you want, Yes. I've been public. Yes, I've been public about my bankruptcy.
And teaching people, because fame came to you very fast. There's a lesson in here. You were a bat boy for the Oakland A's, and fame came to you. You're a part of those Oakland A's teams that were very good. The Dave Stewart teams of that era, even before that, actually, probably. And then you come up through music, and you have lessons to teach about the perils of fame, right?
No. Not from the way you frame it. I shifted into another position because, I don't need a therapist. I don't need to be on the radio telling you, let's talk about, You gave out some $100 bills. And come on, no, I don't. You aren't in many respects wasting my time with that.
Hammer, your most famous time was 20 years ago. So naturally, when people have you on the radio, they're going to want to talk about 20 years ago. You get that, right? Like, you get that, right? I'm just wondering if you get that, because you're being rude on our radio show, and I'm just wondering if you get that. You were infinitely more famous 2 decades ago than you are today, and that's what people want to hear about.
You are a genius.
God, this is just going off the rails.
I don't get it. I'm confused.
No, it's just whenever we ask you, it's met with resistance on your end. We're asking questions that are natural questions.
That's the thing that kind of stinks. I'm covered in sweat here because of how uncomfortable this has been. And I mean, all I did in college was listen to love this, him bursting out onto the scene. But I'm sorry if we've wasted your time. You can have the floor is yours. The floor is yours, Hammer. What would you like to talk about?
No, I've already talked about what I like to talk about. I just want to talk about giving out $100 bills 20 years ago, over and over again, or to talk about regrets over and over again. It's not the way I live my life. Everybody who knows me or engages me on any level know that I live in the present, very positive, and I'm a very busy, businessman.
We appreciate you stopping by. Sorry that we wasted your time.
My pleasure.
It does take us a lot of energy to not talk about the things we've been talking about between segments.
We'll save it for later. We'll save it for later because that one is really good. I like that one. That's a really good
one. I want to start with something, though, that Dominique declared he did not care at all about, which is the Bronny James story. Because David Sampson managed in 4 seconds to make him care. Because David Sampson is exercised.
I'm worked up.
About LeBron, and I want to understand why.
The Los Angeles Lakers are so full of shit, and LeBron is the key conductor of that. And it offends me. All they had to do was have J.J. Redick tell the truth when he was hired. All LeBron had to do was tell the truth about his involvement in J.J. Redick, his involvement in the operation of the team. None of them ever copped to drafting Bronny as though he was some sort of talent. P's player development case study 1 is what J.J. Redick said. Give me a break. Then they gave him $7.9 million guaranteed money for a player that didn't deserve a nickel guaranteed. Then LeBron does a victory lap saying, I took less than the maximum. Look at me. Meanwhile, the James family got more than the maximum, which is a cap violation. But the NBA will never investigate it because they suck at the teat of LeBron and the Lakers. Yeah, I'm worked up.
Okay. So when I say someone is obviously playing a character, how can you pretend like I'm not being honest?
That's not a
character. So you are, David, you don't see the obvious reason why you are the worst person possible to make this argument? To make an argument that somehow LeBron James's nepotism is the issue here is...
I told you, so if you listen to Nothing Personal, I'm not against nepotism. I'm a beneficiary of nepotism, but how about admitting it? Why can't there just be why can't J.J. Redick acknowledge what the Lakers did for LeBron?
You, as someone who ran an organization and has told us a number of times about the many things that you have lied about, and you explained why you had to lie, are pretending as if you don't understand why they can't admit it. Like, what are we doing here, Pablo?
I'm giving my audience a lot of credit, and I am telling them that this is not the example that we would use when I would lie to people. It's when there was a possibility that people would buy what I am selling. There is no one buying that Bronny James got $7.9 million because of his ability.
I want to explain the specific financial criticism you're making, though, because I don't think our audience necessarily is following as fluently as you are assuming, which is Bronny James got guaranteed money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how much guaranteed money did he get?
$7.9 million over 4 years.
55th pick in the draft, second rounder, right? So guaranteed 7.9. LeBron took a pay cut of some amount.
Just he signed for below the max.
I think it was like $3 million.
2.7, which helped the Lakers tremendously, kept them under the second apron.
Right.
It also enables them to keep a draft pick like in 2032 as draft capital, and it gives them a mid-level exception of 12.9, so there was a reason for it.
And I guess I would think that you would understand that there are some business decisions and arrangements that are worked out in a way that are not always completely, like we had this conversation earlier, and that's what surprises me is they didn't break any laws, right? So why is this particular, and this is where I get upset with you and people like you, is it feels like it depends on who is the person who is circumventing the rules in order to get an advantage without actually breaking them, that determines whether you're going to celebrate it as some crafty business maneuver or you're going to say, this is bullshit. Like that's what offends me about you.
So thank you, and I love the communication. What's crafty, if it had been crafty, then we're not having the conversation. Half the stuff I did never got to Letterman or got to the paper.
Except for the time it got to Letterman.
Except for the time it got to Letterman.
Apparently, at the time, Brad Penny said it's ridiculous that he's getting 6 games suspension for drinking milk when you get suspended 10 games for doing steroids.
That's
a good point.
That is, listen, hard to
Pretty
argue
good
with
point.
Brad Penny.
So I would like to say this. We are currently not on ESPN. I work at ESPN. And when we do First Take at ESPN, I understand that we have to kind of, in order to, even if you feel like you have been one-upped in an argument and you lost, you have to kind of fight it out because we got to fill up the rest of the segment. It kind of undercuts the show if you're like, hey, yeah, you got me there. LeBron is better than MJ. We're done. You know? But in this setting, David, we can stop this and move on to one of our many other topics by you just admitting, yeah, Dominique, You're right. What I'm saying is completely unfair and my opinion is completely predicated on who is the one who is circumventing the rules. That's all.
I just want to get that down.
Yeah.
I want to get it exactly right. Yeah, Dominique?
Yeah.
Is it yeah, Dominique?
Sure.
Not yes?
You can go yes, whatever you're comfortable with.
But
this,
like
Can
using the wrong emotion.
can I try to be a David Sampson translator? I wanna workshop David's spin of why he is criticizing some lies while also being the person who is most famous in our business for acknowledging when he himself lied in a parallel position. David has taken the position in sports media of being the guy who is saying, if you can't fool me with your lie, I'm going to call you out for lying, and I'm the only one who can do that because I have been a giant liar.
Okay, so I think that no one here believes that they are being fooled by this lie. Like, we had this conversation in the pre-show where I said, when people ask me to do something and I change my mind and say I don't want to do it, I say, hey, I don't really feel like it. I'm good. Whereas most people, I think, make up a lie. And I said, why make up the lie? Because the person who is receiving it recognizes that you're lying. And then you guys made the fair point that it's kind of like a courtesy where they know you're lying, I know you're lying, but you care enough about me to make up some foolishness. I think this falls in the same category because on its face, no, and I think a lot of the things that, like when you would argue about sellouts, or you would argue that you guys would lie about sellouts. You would argue that, right? We all knew it was bull, but we were like, all right, David, we appreciate you taking a shot at the lie. Like, I think this falls in the same category. And obviously, you would never be so terribly offended by a team president or a team owner misleading the public about how many tickets they're selling or how good they think their team is going to be. So when you are going into a full rebuild.
It's different, though, in a salary cap league. It's different in a salary cap league when we're talking about when you're screwing around with salary cap, salary floor. And
but payroll. The way that they did it gave them more room. So it's not as if, like, I don't understand the point that you're making. So you're saying that they're getting some unfair advantage over the other teams. That's what you're upset about.
I'm saying they're giving LeBron James more than LeBron James is allowed to get.
So
he's getting over the max, and he's getting credit for going under the max, and that's what bothers me.
So we should point out there's also an argument, a strong argument, that suggests that the Lakers cap is actually worse because they got Bronny. But what David is saying is that LeBron and Bronny and the Lakers are acting in concert. It's an inside job. And so LeBron James giving money back is not actually giving money back because the family is getting the money. And so what this raises, Dominique, is I think it's an eternal point that I think you and I have talked about, Dominique, actually, which is like the max salary and salary caps and like LeBron James giving something back, what that says about a sport in which he can't get more because, of course, there are laws keeping his full financial potential in check.
So by your own words, the NBA has been sucking at LeBron James' teat. They have gotten more value from LeBron James than LeBron James has gotten from them. Well, they've gotten more value from LeBron James than they've paid him. We'd agree with that. The fact that the max salary exists is evidence to that.
So there are very few examples where a company doesn't get a greater benefit from the action of an employee.
Okay, so yes.
LeBron's been paid $583 million in his career. Has the Lakers gone up in value by more than $583 million? Yes. That's why people want to own teams.
Okay, so what it sounds like to me is they have found a way to. So if you were running a company, and it has to be a sports team or not, and there was a way that you could compensate someone who's made you billions of dollars, and there was a way that you could go about doing it that was not illegal, and it would only cost you a couple $1 million, you'd obviously do it. And I hate that I find that it seems like I'm in the position where I'm defending the move that the Lakers did, because like I recognize that it's naked nepotism, and I'm not a proponent of that in any way, but I also don't care that much that they're finding a way to give a man who's made them billions of dollars, find a way to give his family $7 million more. That to me is odd, and I can't believe that you don't see how differently you view these situations depending on the person who is making the decision or who is benefiting from this. Like I could use countless examples of how teams and owners in leagues circumvent laws and rules in order to benefit a lot more than one dude getting $8 million and to be up in arms today over that and not recognize the hypocrisy that is confusing to me.
Related, we still need David Sampson's top 5 people he's fired. But proceed.
Yeah, Dominique.
Okay.
I totally agree that in this instance, I have made a mistake with this position.
That's all.
And I think that we should go back to talking about the topic we were going to talk about
Hand
before.
him Dan's, maybe.
Yeah, you want dance?
I'm proud of you, man. Good job. See, the good thing about admitting that you are wrong is that now you're right. So great.
You're exhausting. In a good way.
Oh,
It's
no,
fun to
I-
be with you. Would you like a jelly bean?
Nah, I'm good, man.
Thank you for saying no.
Getting
one anyway.
That was nice.
But I want to get to the LeBron part of this for a second
Sure.
because
It's
I
a
do
real
think
story.
Oh, it's a real story because the most famous athlete in basketball, maybe on the planet, Leo Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo notwithstanding, is figuring out ways in which he can realize the true value of being LeBron James at age 40.
Right.
And so the strongest argument for why Bronny was taken by the Lakers and why it's not a big deal is what Dominique was alluding to, which is this is just part of the way that you make LeBron James whole.
Right.
And so the idea of, is this a hill worth defending and dying on because they could have taken someone else who they may have cut in camp or just been a two-way contract, I cannot get exercised about this because I live in the realpolitik of like superstar management.
So there are benefits that come along with being one of the greatest ever to do it. Like there are benefits with coming along with just being rich in America. And one of the benefits is you get to tell your team who to draft at 55. And yes, you could make an argument that this is a spot that this could have been Patty Mills. Or this is whoever was there, like you could make that argument. It's a hard argument to make, but on the just baseline of ethical behavior, yes, you are right that it is unethical. If we accept that Bronny James does not deserve this spot, yes, I agree it is unethical to force him in there. However, the other argument you could make is a defense of Bronny in that this is not great for him.
He looks despondent, doesn't he?
I have no space for arguing that LeBron James does not deserve this or is finding a way to circumvent the cap and all that stuff. That's the stuff that annoys me. So, like, if you want to talk about, like, this is setting Bronny up for a failure, this is not good for him, they don't need the money, so why are they doing this, putting him in this kind of lose-lose situation, I'm on board with that. I have a harder time getting on board with you saying, well, but the 55th pick, though. But I can still get on board with that just on, like, basic ethical behavior.
The thing about what LeBron is doing, right, in his wanting of things, in his hunger to get ways to feel like he's being made whole, I think brings us to a point at which you guys actually probably have some philosophical alignment. Why is David grinning slyly while looking at the other side of the glass?
Part of the email I also got was to make sure that Lucy and Jess are engaged.
Oh, they are.
And I was trying to figure out.
I'm finishing my F1 minute.
You are finished? Okay, thank you for that. That race, by the way, was unbelievable.
I'm not here to talk about race.
I thought you were going to make a joke about me being Dominique's Nepo baby for the week. That's what I thought you were grinning about.
You're his security blanket. You're his pacifier. I dig it. And Lucy was writing something, so I didn't know what she was doing. So that's what I was thinking.
I wasn't working. I was doodling.
You were doodling?
Oh, boy.
Can you show us what you were
it?
doodling?
Yeah. Are you doing the S's with like a
So-
bunch of like lines that you then like
Recently, I've started junk journaling, which is just you take junk that you like mail or like coffee slips or just whatever you have. And so I've been into scrapbooking and junk journaling. So I've been doing stickers.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
And little pictures.
That's
It makes me less sad when I
of.
look at like my daily schedule and stuff. Where it's like, oh, I have work to do, but look, cute stickers.
So you just grab any junk that's around?
No, so it's like it can like be based off of what
Oh,
you
yeah.
did that day, or like it's all random stuff.
I don't think that's what she meant.
I don't know what you mean. It was a great race, which is why I'm trying to race to finish my F1 minute because I want to do it this week, and I'm not here tomorrow.
It's not even here. It's not even for today?
No, it's for today.
So I was
I'm
going
doing it right now.
Can you do it right now?
Right now.
I was going to criticize David for like taking the show there, but it ended up in a great spot. But I do think that last time I was here, David, I tried to help you become a better broadcaster, and I'm going to continue to do that. So it's been about 4 times since we started the show where someone made an excellent, like irreverent joke. And we all Like, let it sit there and let the people who get it and appreciate it. And you stop the show to point everyone's attention to it, which I think makes the joke less funny. So let's just let it fly. So when we made the...
Is it sexual jokes only that applies to?
No, it's all jokes.
All jokes?
Yeah,
Get that treatment?
I think so.
Yeah, I would refer to your notes there.
Yeah, Dominique?
I have a question. So, are you guys saying basically that the Lakers and everyone is pretending because, like, as soon as Bronny got drafted, after allegations of don't draft him or he's going to go play in Australia, then we get like as soon as he gets drafted, Nike tweets out, "Oh, fairy tale story," and the Lakers tweet something out. Are you guys suggesting that is all being done? That they're all saying this is not nepotism? Everybody on every network came out on the air to say, you know what? This nepotism claim is unfair, but also completely unrelated. Nepotism has existed in the NBA forever, but this is not nepotism. This is a different thing. But we're also going to tell you nepotism has existed forever. Go look at who's coaching over here, there, blah, blah, blah. So are you guys suggesting that this is all being done as a ruse so no one can suggest that something illegal is being done? Like, they have to go over the top to say, you know what, we actually believe that Bronny deserves this so no one can accuse us of kind of skirting the salary cap.
There definitely is like a super Sweet 16 vibe to this, where everybody's sort of like celebrating this kid and they're going way over the top. But I also want to be fair to the story, because while we're talking about like, is it reasonable to draft like the DNA of LeBron James with the 55th pick? Like, in a vacuum, I'm like, yeah, let's roll the dice there. Honestly, like, I think it's not unreasonable just on that level alone to be like, let's take a flyer on this kid.
Like a horse stud.
I think that the
good bloodlines.
Good. I believe Tom Haberstroh did the research where it was like over 60%. It was some statistic. I won't butcher it. If the sons of NBA players were a college, they'd be the best performing college when it came to NBA performance in the history of the modern NBA.
49% of NBA players are related to an elite athlete, either professional, high D1, or an Olympic athlete in some sport.
So if you're talking about bloodlines, like, yeah, give me LeBron. Give me LeBron's bloodlines.
But
truly.
I think what David no longer wants, but what he said he wanted at the beginning of this was them to acknowledge that this was a farce and this is a circumvention of the salary cap. I think it's impossible to prove because he is, if you look at the players around him, like you look at the college stats average, and like he falls in line with other people that you can point to, and those people obviously have more potential than him. I think it's close enough that it's a ridiculous argument to try to wage against someone who you feel like you owe so much to. So like that's kind of the
Dominique,
issue.
are you really pouring tears out for LeBron and saying that they owe it to him to draft his son? And his stats aren't comparable to anyone who would get picked. It's 5.8 points a game as a
Don't
college
let
freshman.
the facts get in
Well,
the
wait,
way.
hold on. We got to zoom out on the story here, right? Because I think we are so like at the Earth's mantle of this story because we're in this business that I do think it's worth remembering that when you tell the story of Bronny James to a normal person, they're like, this is the greatest story of all time. So Bronny James is LeBron James' son. Maybe you've heard of him, right? He has that name. He has that pressure. LeBron has flip-flopped between I want my son to be his own person to also being named me. He is very contradictory in that way. All of these things are true. But when Bronny James has his heart stop on the floor as a college freshman, and he's at USC and has to go to the hospital because he might die, and then he comes back, and of course he's not going to be as good. Maybe he should be better than 5.9 points a game, to Kravitz's argument. But the point is he's back, and the Lakers draft him. You're like, this is, on paper, way too on the nose to be real. And so I'm just reminding everybody that the idea of Bronny James being bad at basketball, there is some context for why his performance was underwhelming and why also you might think that this again, let's introduce another variable into this. From a marketing perspective, do players ever get drafted because of marketing, David?
No.
Do they ever get signed because of marketing?
Yes.
No.
Of course they do.
You have to have a.
That's not
you
true.
have to have a ability. You have to have a baseline
Well,
ability.
I think the point is that
we'll do stunts like Adam Greenberg.
No, but marketing also plays a like you even told us that you guys signed Ichiro because you thought that you would get a ton of ad revenue money.
Yes, but Ichiro had to be able to play.
Right.
Well,
right,
yeah.
right. We're just saying, is it a factor? Yes, it's a factor.
It is not a deciding factor, but if it's a factor. Bronny James, it's a great story, but are we saying his cardiac arrest is what made him not a good player?
I'm saying that it's a factor as to why he wasn't as good as he would have been had his
I
heart.
actually didn't know that.
not stopped.
I know he had the cardiac arrest. I didn't realize.
How could it not affect? I'm not saying he would have been a first rounder. Bronny James from the very beginning was always overrated as a prospect when it came to like he's LeBron's son. Is he going to be the next great NBA? Certainly not. Certainly not. But I don't know. Is his ceiling now? Kravitz is the biggest NBA nerd here. I want to sort of indulge his criticism here. Bronny James' ceiling to me seems like a guy who, if he really cares about defense, right? He's like 6'2", hyper athletic.
Yeah.
We see guys like that in the league.
We do, but if you're talking about like a Davion Mitchell or Drew Holiday, those guys were elite college players. Elite college players, not bench guys on mediocre teams. It's not to say Bronny can't do it. It would just be fairly unprecedented because of his college career.
I think we're having two conversations, and saying the point I was making when I said that his stats are comparable to other people is that he is not so bad that you cannot justify drafting him. He's not so bad that you can say this is an obvious case of cap circumvention. Is he actually a real prospect to have a career? I think we all would agree it's probably unlikely because, as Charlie has yelled at me on my show many a times, he's a 6'1" small forward. Like he's a small catch and shoot guy.
That's very bad.
That doesn't work in the NBA.
Suboptimal.
But the point that I was making was you can look at this story and look at the bloodlines and look at all the information that we have and say that we are drafting on potential. And that's what all NBA drafts are. Baseball, you recognize even more so. It's even more based on potential. So if they were to hold some sort of hearing, it'd be pretty easy to defend this choice without saying we did it because of marketing. Say he is the son of the best player that we've ever seen. He played high-level college basketball. We hope that he'll get better. At this spot, 55th, we've never had anybody make the team before.
Yes.
We're taking a flyer on somebody here.
Why did he get 7.9?
That's the hard. I was about to say the hard part to justify is the contract. The reason why he got 7.9 is because his daddy has meant so much to this league for the past 20 years.
Agreed.
It sort of hurts the argument a bit.
Oh yeah.
And they could have done it better. They didn't need to give him 4 years.
So okay, let's do something that I like to do sometimes. Let's be defense attorney for an unpopular person. In this case, for the James Laker Industrial Complex. Would the move have been to just keep him like on a two-way deal to totally minimize the reward so that he begins to have to earn, it feels like, his spot?
I think you treat him the way any drafted player gets treated, except for the fact that he's going to make the opening day roster, assuming LeBron's healthy. He's going to play in the first game LeBron is healthy so they can have the father-son moment. If it's opening day, it's opening day. But after that, I assume LeBron is smart enough to tell J.J. Redick and Rob Pelinka, hey, after that, I want to play with him in one game for 1 minute. Then we've made history after that. He's got to earn it.
They're going to make plenty of money off of this particular marketing gimmick. I would say that this falls into a category that, frankly, most arguments that we have fall into is these small decisions don't matter. It's something like people who did not like this move don't like this move. Whether you give them $7 million or $35, it's not going to change their mind. I think maybe you give them more ammunition to argue against it, but it's not going to change the way they argue against it. I think it's a mistake to think that the difference between the reaction to LeBron James Jr. being drafted is predicated on how much they paid him. That to me seems absurd. It gives you something else to point to, but I don't think anyone who is offended by the Lakers drafting LeBron James Jr. would say, you know what, if you would have gave him a two-way contract, I'd have been cool with this. But it's the fact that you gave him the money. Like, that, to me, feels...
I wasn't offended by the fact they drafted him. I thought it was a great marketing move. Great, so cool. Father-son. It's never happened in my lifetime. Never happened again. I can't think of another example where a father...
It has never happened before in basketball.
So I'm all in, and ESPN and TNT are going to take full advantage, and I love that. So that's not my issue. I just think the issues surrounding the announcement and then the actions after the draft is what has bothered me.
Something Charlie and I talk about on our show a lot is the tension between sports and entertainment. And I think that this is where it gets really uncomfortable, is when you make money by entertaining people and when decisions can only be justified by how many tickets we're going to be selling. Makes it real tough.
Thankfully, we have the former president of the Marlins to tell us all about how to sell tickets. I'm afraid David Sampson is going to die soon.
Huh. Just in general, or did something happen? David seemed surprised by this.
That's the problem. Because David Sampson has sleep habits that are truly unlike any person that I believe to be functioning or alive. David Sampson, how much do you sleep on average every night?
We've talked about it. 2 to 3 hours.
So that he might have incredible genetic mutation because different people need different amounts of sleep. And so like the sleep time is really important for like brain health. And it's possible in the same way that some people are more genetically equipped to run long distances and people are more genetically equipped to do certain things that he might be.
He's the barefoot runner, Olympic runner of sleeplessness.
I did a race yesterday morning.
It's like it's supposedly like real short-term memory and a lot of like brain function stuff is really tied into the amount of sleep that you get. And I don't get any inkling from David that he struggles with any of those things. So maybe he doesn't need that much sleep.
But that's the warning sign, is that for people who don't know, David runs marathons. He does insane 7-continent, 7-day, 7-marathon stunts. He hosts a show by himself in which he talks to him into a microphone relentlessly every day. And he's one of those energetic people that I know, and he sleeps the least of anybody that I am aware of. And I'm just concerned that there is going to be a reckoning.
What reckoning?
Yeah, I get what you're
saying. Like I'm going to have a heart attack on camera?
The problem is
what's the reckoning you're talking? Am I missing something?
I agree with
Pablo.
Pablo.
Am I bleeding right now, like out of my ears?
I agree with Pablo in theory, but you would see some signs from someone or some along the way. So like when I go without sleep, like it is obvious that I am terribly slow, and like when I go for a week or so without getting a good amount of sleep. Like if I have a lot of work to do or whatever, and so 4 hours of sleep a night for like 7 days, there's a problem. So I have melatonin for that. When I travel or when I'm uncomfortable, whatever, I'll take some melatonin. I forgot my melatonin this time, so I had to go to
There's a CVS very close.
Yeah, I went and copped some melatonin.
Well, Dominique, put a pin in that. I'm going to put that in the Google Doc, Dominique's melatonin adventure. Because the other reason I think David Sampson's going to die soon is because joining us on Zoom is former Marlins bat boy Nick Cirillo.
What?
Yeah! Hey, what's up, guys?
Nick, welcome. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Do you remember this man here in the white polo shirt waving?
Hey,
how are
what's
you, man?
happening, bud?
Wow, it's been a
long
minute.
time no see.
It's been a minute.
I've said more words to you just now than I've ever said in my whole life.
Nick, we've been talking about what happened to you. David Sampson presented the story of what happened to you. And I just want to get some basic facts correct, which is that Brad Penny offered you, I believe, $500. Was that?
Yep.
Brad
Penny offered me $500 to drink a gallon of milk in an hour. That is correct.
And you did it in 59 minutes, is what we read.
57 minutes-ish, and I threw up all over the place.
Yep. Where did this take place in the building, just so we can paint the picture for everybody before we get to the litigation side of this?
I don't even remember, at Hard Rock Stadium or whatever you want to call it, Joe Robbie, pro player. I don't even know what it's called anymore. In the kitchen. So the kitchen was tiny. It couldn't have been any more than like a 10 by 10 little room. And I was sitting on the counter, and I had to sit there the whole time. That was part of the deal. I couldn't move or do anything or go to the bathroom. I sat in the corner by the coffee machine and drank milk for an hour.
How much did you love being a Marlins bat boy, Nick?
Oh, it was great. I mean, it's every American kid's dream, you know? I mean, who wouldn't want to hang out with their idols every single day for 80 games? You know, it's awesome.
And so when you barfed everywhere, did you have any sense in that moment that your dream, the American dream, was in jeopardy?
Absolutely not. I was told that nothing could happen to me because I was just throwing up. I didn't kill anybody. I didn't beat anybody up. I thought I was good.
David Sampson
Killer of American dreams.
I killed his American dream, Pablo. Do you think maybe it's a little much?
No.
No, I see where Nick is coming from. And Nick, let me ask it to you very bluntly then. How long have you waited for the opportunity that you have right now on this show?
Oh, probably 20 years. I mean, David Sampson never ever actually face-to-face told me what I was getting suspended for. I never was called to his office. He never said anything to me. So I'd love to hear his side of the story.
Howard.
I've been driving to Disney World today, so I don't really know what's going on the show.
Well,
The most magical place on earth.
It's been happy and magical in its own right.
Hopefully David Sampson doesn't ruin that dream.
I'm going to stop him from
You
going
might.
to Disney.
Hold on.
You might.
We're holding a 20-year delayed HR meeting, David. And it's you and Nick and me and Dominique.
It would not have been my job. It just would not have been my job to be in that room. So I feel no guilt over that. You can make me out to be the bad guy for not talking to him to let him go, but it's
Nobody's
quite
making
common.
you out to be a bad guy. You have an opportunity.
Whose job is it?
It's not
When you
even.
trade-
It's not
when
even
you
the
trade
GM.
when you trade a player, or cut a player, you don't talk to them and say, "Hey, see you later." Like,
I'm sorry, but you were not a player.
What?
I'm not saying
You
that.
worked in the
That
clubhouse.
is
Meant
your
something
job.
to the team.
It is your job.
It
I
is.
mean, you're the GM or whatever you want to call yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I will
know,
call myself the president, and the GM would not. My guess is the GM did not meet with you. If I had to guess, it would have been
Mike
the
Hill
clubhouse
didn't meet
manager.
with me.
Mike Hill-
Absolutely not.
Right.
Mike Hill did not meet with me.
Right.
You guys were afraid to come meet with an 18-year-old kid. Which I really don't
Terrified.
understand
Coward.
why.
We were.
And I don't even
Yeah,
understand
Dominique.
why I got suspended.
Is it possible you still work for the team?
Me?
You never got fired.
You never got fired if you're suspended.
Absolutely. I was fired. Absolutely.
Okay.
100%. But they actually fired my brother who worked in the home clubhouse.
What did he
And he had
drink?
nothing to do with it.
Did he barf?
Damn, everybody had to go.
You fired the whole family, David?
Listen.
I mean, come on. You let the I mean, why did I get suspended, David? I mean, let me know.
Let him know.
'Cause
We want to find out the answer, David.
I do not feel it is appropriate for you in your capacity as a ball boy to be sitting for an hour drinking milk and then vomiting.
What about his brother?
That's what was presented to me, and I was in favor of the suspension and firing. But if you're going to accuse me of not doing it personally, I apologize, but I cannot possibly personally fire everyone who gets fired. There's not enough time in the day. That's all I'd be doing.
so
Turnover is
So-
crazy.
so you let me go where I got suspended for drinking milk? Is this really where we're at?
Yep.
You
So-
Or was I suspended for gambling?
Remember
I
what
mean,
you
because
said
I'd love
at the
to
time.
hear. I'd love to hear it. 'Cause,
Nick's-
I mean, we could talk about this all day.
Nick's only been waiting 20 fucking years, David.
I hope we do talk about it all day, to be honest with you.
Sounds good. Get comfy.
Can I ask a question, David? If Nick didn't barf, would he still have his job?
Yes, because I probably would never have found out about it. Because there was stuff that went on with players all the time, and there was stuff that it would never get to my desk. It would never get to the GM's desk, and you know this very well. There was stuff that would go on in the clubhouse all the time.
You guys knew everything that went on in the clubhouses.
We did not have a mole the way you all think we did. We did come down often, and we knew what was going on. But there's stuff that Silver or Brian Greenberg would not have known about, or Rock Hughes today. There's stuff that we would not know about that goes on.
Everybody knew what was going on down there.
Nick, what's the craziest thing that happened in the clubhouse while you were there? Do you have a great clubhouse story?
Careful, we're live.
I mean, some of them are inappropriate. I
Okay,
don't want to
never
talk
mind.
about
Moving
my
on.
crazy
Yeah, family.
clubhouse stories. You know,
Moving on.
that's a thing for another day. I don't want to out anybody.
Well-
That's not why I'm really here.
Let me ask you a question more specific, though,
Yeah.
about David, Nick. What was David Sampson's reputation in the clubhouse as you understood it?
I mean, David Sampson didn't really talk to us. We were peons to him. I mean, he thought he was a big shot. He didn't, if I said more than 6 words to the guy my whole entire career for the Marlins, that was a lot. I mean,
I think that there are many team presidents who speak constantly to visiting clubbies.
yes, there are probably many. You're right. You were not one of them.
Nope.
I worked for the Marlins for 6 years. I worked for another team I had a personal relationship with the team president. He would say hello to me every day.
Wait, are
I'm
you
not
saying that I
I
walked past you and ignored you? That is not accurate.
I wouldn't go that far. I think it's pretty accurate. I'm pretty sure that pretty much is accurate.
Well, I hope that your memory is not ruined of the time that you served and the dream that you got to have fulfilled for when it did. I think you had a great 15 minutes that most visiting clubbies do not get when this happened, and I hope you look back at that fondly.
Listen, I appreciate it. I mean,
how's Letterman? Was that
great.
fun?
It was a great run. Listen, I thank Brad Penny for getting me on TV. It was awesome.
So does any part of you, Nick, blame Brad Penny as well as David Sampson for the way that your time with the Marlins ended?
Absolutely not. I have nothing. I have no issue with Brad. Brad did nothing wrong.
Can I try one question? Is it possible that you want to thank David Sampson because you got to go on Letterman?
I didn't hear that. What was that?
Is it possible that you want to thank David Sampson because you got to go on David Letterman because David Sampson fired you?
I mean,
hug it out?
I don't know if I want to thank him, but I mean, I'll thank him.
You don't have to. I was just wondering.
I mean, sure, why not? I mean,
I love
awesome.
you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, you found a picture.
I mean, I
of
don't
it.
know if I would have got on TV without you suspending me,
would
but I did lose my job.
Yeah.
So,
and how did that lead to the downward spiral in your life?
The downward spiral in my life?
Potentially, yeah.
Oh, I got a job with another team that liked me a little bit more. It is what it is.
Oh, so upward spiral.
Did you get a World Series ring? You said you were there for 6 years, and this happened in 2005.
Yes, I got a World Series ring in 2003.
Okay.
It would appear that would be thank you worthy, but what do I know?
Why'd you fire his brother?
Yeah, why'd you fire my brother?
I have no recollection.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I don't recall.
You just get the whole family out because he might undermine.
Yeah.
Try to get some revenge.
What's your relationship with dairy, David? Maybe there was
Game
something
of
more.
Thrones.
It was a cinnamon bet.
With who?
With dairy.
Who's dairy?
Dairy,
Milk.
like milk.
Milk.
Yeah, like
Oh,
maybe there's a
oh.
lactose issue here. Maybe
No.
there was like an envy that
I
he
mean,
could drink
listen,
a gallon of milk or something.
Listen, we could have spun this a good way. I mean,
Yeah. It's not too
we
late.
could have had a milk sponsorship or something.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why not?
Well,
the milk.
This does bring us to a question, Nick, that I've been wanting to find out the answer to ever since we started the show, which is it actually possible to drink a gallon of milk in an hour without vomiting?
No, it's impossible.
Yeah, I'll take your
Whole milk is impossible. I've never tried the other stuff.
Wait, you tried it
You did
again?
it with wait, hold on.
No.
You did it
just
with
that time.
you did it with whole milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it with whole milk. I didn't try it with 2% or 1% or any of the other things.
He's a real one.
No, that's the gig.
Yeah, you
is
can't.
whole milk.
Well,
I mean,
I don't know. See, the problem is I drank it and I didn't eat anything, so I didn't have anything in my system to soak up anything. So I don't know if that was the problem.
Would you want to do it again, maybe, when you're back from Disney World? Or
I mean,
Or now?
we're here all
sure,
week.
I'd
Yeah.
do it again.
All right. So
I'll do it again.
Nick Cirillo, you're gonna come back on the show, and we're gonna figure out a
$500
way
$500
to
bucks.
When
stream
Dan's
this.
back, yeah.
To stream you having an hour to drink a gallon of whole milk.
Well, you can do it here in the studio. You still
Absolutely. Wait, yeah, Nick, where are you based?
I'm in Fort Lauderdale.
All right, you're coming into studio,
Well, pending the lawyer's approval.
pending legal review,
Yeah.
and you're gonna have an hour to drink a gallon of whole milk with rewards to be decided, but involving both financial and perhaps justice-related consequences with David Sampson.
I think it'd be an amazing thing to do, but I would like to just slow Pablo down because we work at a company,
Yeah.
and it is highly unlikely that this is going to happen. So I don't want our audience.
Why is it
Pablo,
unlikely?
you did not work here during the Pepper incident.
Yeah.
We're not doing this again.
Pending lawyer's approval.
Yeah, let's sign some waivers. We got it. We good.
There are not enough waivers that are written. Now, I think it'd be amazing if you did it yourself and showed video, though we're not telling you to
Don't
do
do
it.
that.
I don't think you should do that at all, personally. And on behalf of Meadowlark Media, LLC,
Wow.
it is unconscionable, unreasonable, and very dangerous to drink a
Are
gallon
you
of milk in an
firing
hour.
Nick again right now?
sounds like
I
it.
just
And you're welcome.
I think he's just afraid I could do it.
I think so too.
I think that's what I'm
You're
hearing.
damn
also,
right,
to be
Nick.
honest
You're
with you.
damn right.
I don't think he wants to pay up is the problem.
I will give you I'll put the $500, which I have in my bag, on the table right now.
Well, no, it's
Sound
500
pretty
20
scared,
years
Samson.
ago.
Yeah, inflation
I think you're
adjusted.
It's like
Listen, we
40,000
can go
now.
do it in an undisclosed area. It's all good.
Yes.
You can sit there and watch me do it. I'm not worried about it.
Back alley milk drinking
That's
competition.
right. With dice. Can we throw dice too?
Whoa, what does that mean?
So
We can do whatever. Throw dice,
Craps?
play cards, whatever you want to do.
Wait,
We can play
nobody?
craps. As long as it hits the wall, we're good.
Oh, you'll be playing craps, all right.
You don't crap with it. You don't have time.
more walls will be hit. I'm also confident.
Absolutely.
So Nick, at the end here, I guess just to clarify, any hard feelings towards David?
No. I mean, what kind of hard feelings am I have towards the guy? Like I said, if I said more than 5 words to him my whole life, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I don't really know him other than what I read in the media and what people say about him.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a real judgment against him. I mean, I am a little pissed off. He ruined my baseball career.
Yep. Ruined.
Right.
I mean, I was waiting for my 10 years. You know, I could get my benefits. But
That
they
is
cut me
actually
short down
true.
there.
You cost him a
Damn.
pension, David.
They
And
cost
his
me my
brother.
pension.
Yeah, and his brother.
They cost me and my brother a pension. I mean, time served. It's kind of bullshit, but whatever. Now I got to have a real job and work like a real person, I guess.
Milk?
The least David could do is meet Nick Cirillo in a back alley, undisclosed, somewhere in South Florida, so he can watch him drink a gallon of whole milk in an hour and then possibly be vomited upon.
That's it. You got to catch it.
Nick, what's your favorite team? Maybe David can take you to a game.
My favorite team, I'm a Yankees fan. I was born in New York. I've always been a Yankees fan.
Do you want a Don Mattingly signed ball?
No, you got to up a
Don,
ball.
I-
You
know,
cost
I
him his
mean,
pension.
I could give you one, David.
Perfect.
Oh, I got $500 in my bag right now.
Well, I'm just saying that we'd be I don't actually, but we'll be able to pay up the bet.
Okay.
Because Brad Penny would be good for it.
Yeah.
And
You
so
are
would
too?
we.
Well, he's not mad at Brad Penny.
He shouldn't be mad at Brad Penny.
What color was the barf?
White.
That's what I thought.
PTFO, folks. Make sure you get Pablo Torre finds out wherever you get your
It
podcast.
was,
Oh, God.
I mean, I did work after I did that. I mean, I did go right to work after I threw up all over the clubhouse and it was cleaned up.
Who cleaned it?
He
I didn't
had
really
to.
have much of a choice. You know, I'm working. I got to go to work.
That's right. He had a dream to live.
I'm a dream crusher.
Absolutely. I
We
went, picked up some bats, did what I had to do, cleaned some shoes, did some laundry, made sure the players were happy.
And
It's all
entertained.
good. Listen, at the end of the day, all a bat boy is a gesture for the clubhouse. Those players, they want to laugh and have a good time. If you can make them laugh and have a good time, you're golden in there.
You're doing your job.
They're playing for tips.
Got fired for doing his job.
Yes.
Lost his pension and
Doing
the
his
American
job.
dream.
Oh, the whole thing. I ruined his life.
Yeah.
It's a miracle that he's even alive today.
You should pay for his trip to Disney World.
Yeah.
It's a
Nick,
miracle
did you
I'm
buy
even
those
alive
tickets
today.
already?
What was that in here?
Did you buy those tickets at Disney already? David's offering to pay potentially.
I have annual pass. You want to pay for my hotel? That'd be great.
Ooh.
I have annual passes.
That seems
for Disney,
reasonable.
so-
Are you at the Polynesian?
No, I'm staying at Coronado Springs. Right now, I'm on the turnpike in Port St. Lucie at a rest stop.
Ooh, Port St. Lucie, Yankee Spring Training Zone. I want to end
I'm
this.
making my way there.
I want to end this segment, Nick, with Nick Cirillo's top 5. Get the sound ready. Top 5 rides he's going to ride at Disney World, having gotten all of this off his chest after 20 years about David Sampson. Number 5, Nick Cirillo, you'll be riding.
Dumbo.
Classic.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Haunted Mansion.
Another winner.
It's a good one. It's scary in there. Number 3.
Mine Train.
You have a Genie Plus for that? How are we going to do that? You going to get there early, rope drop? What are you thinking?
Yes, I actually do have a Genie Plus for that.
Awesome.
It's veteran savvy. Number 2?
Number 2 would be
Guardian's a good one. Guardian.
Frozen. Did that take my daughter on Frozen?
My daughter
May inform
loves
who he's
Frozen.
with. I would
Loves
assume.
Frozen.
We haven't asked him, but I assume he's with
Elsa. And the number 1 ride Nick Cirillo is going to ride at Disney World, having gotten off of his chest after 20 years all of the things he wanted to say to David Sampson, the man who fired him and killed his dream, is...
And cost him his pension.
Ratatouille.
Say Ratatouille.
And
I
David
haven't been on that
Sampson's
one.
top 5 list for reasons why he's fired people.
Drive safely.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
I appreciate it.
You're a
Thanks,
hero.
guys.
We'll see you in a
Thanks
back
for having me
alley
on the
sometime
show.
soon. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you.
Take care.
He can't take care. He doesn't have a pension.
Yeah, it's harder now without the pension.
That was classic.
Not the Batman the show knew they wanted. The Batman the show needed.
We needed something today.
We got it.
I did
we
fuck
found
it up.
out,
It's
guys.
the Batman the show deserved. Should have been the line. Jess just told me. I was wrong.
It's my
Yeah.
guy. My guy. That's my blanket.
I like that guy.
You should have gotten to know him more. Just say hi to him.
On the road.
We're
to
journalists, David. We're journalists. We find things out. Maybe you've heard. And yeah, thanks to Nick Cirillo for joining us.
How uncomfortable were you at any point in there?
Zero.
Scale of 1 to 10.
Zero.
The whole time?
10.
Yes.
Oh,
Zero.
you weren't asking me.
Wait, you were uncomfortable?
Oh, that was a lot.
Lucy?
But uncomfortable because he's not guest worthy or because you were
No.
worried? Right.
No,
what-
we don't put people in hierarchies like you.
It kind of felt like his Pretty Woman moment.
Am I Jason Alexander in that case?
I don't know the movie that well.
I heard that his bobblehead night was very, very popular the other night.
First 18,000, and the Yankees have been slumping. The Yankees have been terrible.
They needed it.
It's been rough.
They're the worst team
for
in baseball
Nick
since June 13th.
and my Yankees.
The worst team in baseball. Little known fact there, Normie.
You should get worse than the Rockies?
The worst,
Really?
yes.
Wow. You should get Nick a George Costanza bobblehead. I bet that would make it up to him.
So they only did 18,000, and the stadium holds 55,000. So people were lining up. It was a zoo, like when the Dodgers did the Ohtani bobblehead, and there was some violence and some bad stuff. They don't make enough, and they could. That's what really bothers me.
I have a question for you in terms of that, because I've been to games where I have not gotten a bobblehead or said giveaway, right? And then, 6 months later, hey, the Marlins are at, a walkathon, and there's a little table where you spin a wheel, and they have the giveaway that they allegedly ran out of, and they're giving it to people who just spin a wheel and it lands on that.
Yeah, we keep an extra pallet that we use for giveaways for people who complain. Every employee got every giveaway, so there's a pallet for that. And so basically the reason why there's a limit on the number of giveaways is based on the sponsorship dollar allocation. And so you match up how much money you're getting from the sponsor for that giveaway, what the cost of the bobblehead is, and you always order more that the team keeps.
When I went to an Angels game when Ohtani was playing there, they were giving out snow globes of him, and there were so few people there that I left with like 8 Shohei Ohtani snow globes and just gave them to my friends.
You could sell those in one of your junk sales.
I don't know where they are now, and it's not junk.
Well, isn't everything you get not junk at the junk sales?
What?
No, what?
I thought that when you
Do you
go
mean
to
estate
junk sales,
sales?
She
Estate
buys
sales.
estates.
Yeah, and I'm not dead, so I'm not ready for my estate sale.
No, but I
quite
thought
yet.
that the things you find are things that are really cool.
They are really cool, so they're not junk.
Yeah, Lucy is scrapbooking junk.
Yeah, that's my junk journal.
Journaling junk.
Yes.
One man's junk, also
Another man's treasure?
Yeah.
I'm with you. So where are the snow globes now?
I gave a lot to my friends. I think I have one at my dad's house, and there's probably one packed up in my stuff, but I had a lot of Shohei Ohtani snow globes.
Those are worth something now.
I think they were worth something then, too.
She gave them away because she loves people. She didn't have to monetize it.
People are obsessed with giveaways.
Yeah, it's
It
pretty
is
weird.
you do season ticket packages based on giveaways. There's a whole meeting that happens when you're doing your giveaway calendar that you choose when to do it, what day of the week. It's crazy.
Welfare state.
No, it's just how do you maximize the giveaway and what do we think people are going to like? You don't think it's bizarre that people love the Seinfeld?
You don't think it's bizarre that dude wants to ride Ratatouille? So I have a CPAP machine now.
God,
I'm
you must be
jealous.
so attractive.
Have you gotten diagnosed, Billy, with
No,
sleep
I
apnea?
wish.
So it's pretty cool.
Do you
What
have
I've
to
been
travel with
told.
it?
I brought it to Miami.
Really? Where is it? In your room? Can you bring it
Yeah,
down?
it's in my room.
Which version? What model you got?
It's a pretty like lightweight portable one. So
Go on.
most CPAP machines, if you're not familiar, people think about them, they're like, the Darth Vader mask. And so CPAP, by the way, stands for continuous positive airway pressure. And so you put the whole thing on, it's like a gas mask. This is not that. It's just a thing you put in your nose, light straps. And what you get, and the reason it's cool, is because it's a stream of constant oxygen pumped into your body for as long as you're asleep. And after fighting this at first, I've come to really appreciate it, perhaps because I have been diagnosed with some form of sleep apnea. And so...
You did a study?
Yeah, I did a sleep study. I allegedly snore. Allegedly.
Your partner said that?
Liz has told me for years that...
Does she like the CPAP machine?
She loves nothing more than the CPAP machine. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened to us.
Imagine that's how her reacts to it. But
And I feel great when I wake up. I feel great. I'm full of oxygen. I'm oxygenated. It feels like a PED. Except I fell asleep last night having not turned it on, and so I feel like shit today.
I didn't get as much sleep last night as I wanted either because I believe that my melatonin was spiked.
With?
I don't know.
Where did you get melatonin?
uppers?
I don't know. No, it didn't keep me awake. It put me to sleep, but it had me having ridiculous, crazy dreams that I would never have. And so I bought the cheap one because I was like, all right, let's get this cheap melatonin. It's all the same. I'm on the road. I forgot my melatonin. Let me go grab some cheap melatonin. Not in Miami. They put extra.
You got some bodega melatonin?
I guess they trafficking in the melatonin bottles now. That's what they do. That must be how they get it here.
You didn't just go to like CVS?
I did go to CVS. Oh, you think they not in on the traffic?
You're now saying CVS spikes the melatonin.
Allegedly.
I don't know who.
I would say allegedly, if you don't mind.
I don't know who spiked my melatonin, but I had a ridiculous dream about one of my friends trying to kill me, and I had like a sleep paralysis situation.
Oh.
And then I woke up to like floating heads. I mean, I thought I was awake. You ever had a dream where you dream that you woke up?
Yep.
But then there were like skulls floating around my room, and I was like, oh, I'm still asleep. Eventually, I woke up and I texted Charlie like, hey, Charlie, I think somebody spiked my melatonin.
What time was this text?
Like 11.
Oh,
Yeah, like
all this
11
happened
PM.
before 11
Yeah.
p.m.?
Yeah.
What time did you go to bed?
Like 9:30.
My guy. Samson, what are
Growing
you
boy.
doing with like the Pablo not looking hot while he's asleep thing?
I
look hot.
Nah.
While
Apparently,
asleep.
David thinks you don't, and that you should, and you should get rid of your machine.
I think that
For
people
go
who
breathing.
use those machines, it's not attractive to the partner.
Huh.
I would think that it's not an invitation for middle of the night fun and games.
Well, what do you do to look like a hot boy before bed?
I just don't go to bed. I mean, I wash up and brush my teeth, but I think it's hilarious. Did you not think everyone that he was texting Charlie at 4 a.m? I can't believe you at 11 p.m. all this had happened.
Oh yeah, I have self-respect. I don't text people at those hours unless.
Hold on. Two things. Nothing is hotter than your health.
Only two. Okay.
Number one. Number two, you guys ever have sleep paralysis?
I had it last
terrifying.
week during a nap. I get nap paralysis.
Lucy?
Yes. Also, your melatonin thing, every time I take melatonin, I have like gnarly dreams too. Last time I took it, my dream was that they sent my brother to Mars and that things went bad and they would not go get my brother. And I was like, please, somebody go get Jack. And then I woke up.
Call Matthew McConaughey.
Jack is so cool. He will never go to
It's
Mars.
an underrated feeling when you have like a nightmare or a creepy dream or some scary dream. Waking up from that, underrated happiness because you really feel like it's real. I've had that dream with like the anxiety or stress before a big game. I've had the dream that I had that big game coming up, and then I would wake up like, I got to worry about Randy Moss today at all. That's nice. Let me just go talk to my microphone. Doo-doo-doo.
I have that, except instead of Randy Moss, it's biology.
Class?
Just a test.
I get those dreams too. Yeah. Where I like get it like probably once every couple months where I'm like, I don't have enough credits to graduate.
Yeah, same. Or I have a final and I don't know if I'm going to pass this class, and what do I do if I don't graduate?
The trauma we all have. We've all had those dreams.
Can I admit what mine is?
What?
It's Dan. It's not having things ready for highly questionable.
Really?
Yeah.
He's your sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah, I had insomnia because of Dan when I worked with him.
None of us
that's
can
so
relate.
real.
Yeah.
That's so real. I like the idea that Dan is the demon at the edge of your bed that you can't.
Where are my topics?
Once every 2 months, I just have a dream where
These
Dan's
glasses are
sitting there
real.
hyperventilating, being like, "Why is the clip not ready? Why?"
I had a really weird one a couple months ago. It was that I had drank too much milk at work, and then I got fired, and my pension got taken. And then I woke up and was so relieved that no one would be so ridiculous.
And they fired your brother.
To fire me and my brother.
I still don't get that part of the
Because I
story.
drank a little too much vitamin D and I threw up.
White.
What?
It's white.
Why are you looking at me like that? That was a rough dream.
That's a tough dream.
I was
I
hurt.
mean, can you imagine that being somebody's reality?
He lost his American dream that day.
That's quite.
A dream deferred.
George Washington is proud. That's the American
I think King
dream.
George is proud, honestly, of your actions.
Speaking of the UK and Britain, I have an F1 minute from the British Grand Prix.
We could use it because
Yes.
I watched every minute of the 52 laps and it was awesome.
We can talk Wimbledon later, Charlie. Don't get us off track.
said UK.
Billy, hit the music. It was a great race. I agree. We agree for the second time today. I wouldn't have fired that guy, though. But that's a conversation
there,
for
you
another
would've.
day. It's the final race of an F1 triple header, and we're in Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. Brad Pitt's new F1 movie trailer is out, and it's called F1. Mercedes is on the front rows. George Russell looks to repeat his Austrian Grand Prix win. It's lights out and away we go. The Mercedes lead the pack, but rain is on the radar. It's starting to fall in Silverstone, and Norris and Piastri are 1-2. When will the drivers come in and put on intermediates? Charles Leclerc is the test dummy. Then Verstappen and Sainz come in. Mercedes double stack Hamilton and Russell, but McLaren only brings in Norris. After Piastri stop, Norris, Hamilton, Verstappen, and Russell lead the race. Verstappen is struggling to hang on, and Russell has to retire. Lando is leading his home race, but the sun is shining, and the drivers will need to make another stop. 13 laps to go. Lewis Hamilton puts on softs. Verstappen puts on hards, and Lando Norris comes in a lap later. Which tires will he be put on? He takes softs, and it's a slow stop. Lewis Hamilton has the lead. He has 12 laps to go, and as home race, it's the race he's won 8 times. Verstappen and Lando are hot behind him. Verstappen passes Norris and is closing the gap on the Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton has to be perfect to finish the race in front. He's on his final lap. He hasn't won a race since 2021. He's speeding down the Hamilton straight to finish. Verstappen can't catch him. Hamilton has done it. Lewis Hamilton is back on top of the podium.
That is a great F1 minute.
Spitting like Twister.
That was tough. A lot happened in that race. I had to cut a lot out, guys.
You did great. For those, did you watch the race? Did you know there was a race yesterday?
I did know there was a race. I was flying to Miami with my CPAP machine, so I missed it. But I feel like I'm caught up now.
Yeah.
He cried. The only thing did you edit out that Lewis Hamilton cried?
I
at the
didn't
end?
edit. I had to edit a lot out, but I didn't have that. He did cry at the end because he said after the race he didn't know if he would ever win another race in Formula One after 2021. And I think a lot of fans and people who have followed F1 the last 2 years probably also wondered if he'd ever win another race again, because it's been pretty tough for him since the 2021 finale when he lost to Max Verstappen. And he's been on the podium a handful of times, but winning that race, especially the British Grand Prix, he's won the most times there of any driver and the most driver to win that many times at a single track. He broke so many records yesterday. Like, it was just an absolute storybook finish, and it felt like if Brad Pitt was making a movie about Formula One, like, that's the script. That should be the movie, because that felt like a movie.
I didn't love the trailer.
It looked kind of, I don't know what to expect. It could be good. I don't know. Gunther Steiner was the highlight of the trailer, though.
As a non
that was probably a bad sign.
As a non F1 obsessive, I don't know if that did enough to convert outsiders. I was like, so the car turns.
Right. The opening scene was like, everyone's car is faster on the straights. We need to make one that goes faster on the turns. And she's like, how am I supposed to make that safe? And Brad Pitt's like, I never said anything about safe.
Dun dun.
It's like,
It does sound like they got an AI script writer and was like, hey, F1's hot. Brad Pitt's hot. Make a movie about F1 with Brad Pitt.
But what are we going to call it, Dominique? What will we call the F1 movie starring Brad Pitt, the biggest movie about
that
F1?
Apple is spending $200 large on. just so we can make
Pit
sure we're
stop.
clear about
200,000?
million, Billy.
Oh.
That's the American dream.
F1 is the name.